When you think of Mexico, you probably picture beaches, sunshine, and palm trees swaying in the wind. But this morning, it was anything but that. Rain poured down over Cancun, clouds hung low, and I honestly didn't know what I was getting myself into. The second I got close to the train station, I realized this wasn't going to be your typical travel day. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Mexico. Bienvenido a Mexico. I'm currently located at the train station right here in Cancun. Today I'll be riding Mexico's largest, most newest passenger train. I'll be going from Cancun to Merida, roughly a 3.5-hour train ride. And today it is raining. I'm currently in Mexico during the rainy season. I did that intentionally, less crowds, cheaper tickets, cheaper everything. So this is the train station. I'll give you guys some interesting facts about the train station as I show you. But this is what it's looking like. And it is raining. Some interesting facts about the Tren Mayan train. This is Mexico's most aggressive project in more than 30 years. Building the Tren Mayan train station, the rail station, and it's also the Tren Mayan train station, or the rail, is the biggest in Latin America, if I'm not mistaken. I'm super excited because they built this train station for several reasons. One being to boost tourism. That's why I'm here, to ride this train. I'm super stoked about it. Number two, to connect local communities such as like beach towns, connect tourists with like the ancient Mayan ruins in those towns. And number two, to just make it easier for tourists to tour all of southern Mexico, specifically the Yucatan Peninsula. I won't be doing that today. I do want to experience what it's like to ride the train, and so I'll be taking a 3.5-hour ride from Cancun to Merida. I already bought my tickets through an app. Doing all my research, they say it's easier if you buy your tickets before you get to the train station because, for one, they may not have any tickets when you get here, and two, it just may be a little bit confusing because you cannot buy a round-trip train ticket at the station. But you can buy a round-trip train ticket on the app. You just download the Tren Mayan app on whatever phone you have in their app store. So I got a round trip, going there to Merida today and coming back to Cancun today just to experience it. I'm super stoked. I'm super excited. I did book the international premiere, which is essentially first class for international visitors, specifically people from the US and Canada. That's what the international premiere package is for. They do have different kind of packages. They have local packages, native packages, tourists, students, seniors. So there's a variety of packages and a variety of prices. Sorry, I'm a little bit sick. I'm getting over a cold, so my voice may sound a little bit monotone. But anyways, let's go in and take a look at the train station and see what it looks like. My train leaves at 8 o'clock. It's roughly 7:10. I am a bit early just to kind of explore the station. So let's go. They've got National Guard everywhere. We'll talk about my experience once I get on, but here it is. Cancun, Merida. This is where I'm headed. And this is the train. Hola. I had to get help. I don't know where my seat is, guys, and I'm just still shaken up about my experience so far. So she's going to show me where it is. All right, let's take a look. She's showing me where my seat is because I have no clue. All right, still headed to my seat. A wonderful lady that worked on this train helped me find my seat because it was just confusing, and I was a little bit flustered, just kind of giving my experience getting on the train and just in the train station. And we'll talk about it once the train starts going, but let's take a look at what first class looks like before we get anybody in here, because right now I'm all alone. All right, let's let this wonderful lady pass us by, and then we'll do a quick tour of what first class is looking like. This is your premier section, first class. So on the right side, you have single seats. These are all your single seats, and you got big windows. And then on this side are double seats. And this train is very nice. It's well lit. It's spotless. You got these handles that'll help you move, which is a genius idea, so you don't fall when the train is moving. Instead of putting it up here, you can grab this. And then you have these tables here. If you want to come in a group, sit down and eat. So this is first class, guys. And so far, I'm by myself. Now let's take a look at my area and look around and see what you get. I will probably move seats if no one else is on this train, but here is my seat. I'll show you my seat and everything it has to offer. This is 48, seat 48. They have armrest. This is like comfortable. This is what you get on an airplane. Nice and comfortable for your neck, head, and stuff. They have plug outlets to plug in your phone, to charge. Table, drink. And then this is for your feet. But if you don't want that, you can just kick it up, and you've got plenty of leg room. Storage. And this beautiful window to look out of. They also have this to hang up a bag or a jacket, and I just hung up my travel bag. So let's talk about my experience at the train station in Cancun. When I got dropped off by my Uber driver, I pulled out my phone, did my intro, what you guys saw, which was fine because I wasn't actually in the train station yet. I was on the outside of the train station. But once I entered into the train station and I did a 360 with my camera, the National Guard member started speaking Spanish to me, and I didn't understand him. And I told him I don't know Spanish very well, and I was getting my phone out, and Google Translate was acting up. I pulled it out. I, talked into it, hit the span, showed him what it said. Then he went to talking to it. It wasn't working. We couldn't communicate. I had him standing there waiting. I felt embarrassed. I felt flustered. My palms started sweating. It took me like several tries to be able to get Google Translate to work properly. But yeah, like I said, there are National Guard members on this train patrolling, so you might see them walking up and down the aisle in the background. But whatever you have to do to keep everybody safe, I'm in Mexico. I know what it is, so it doesn't bother me. So I felt bad because I'm making this gentleman wait on me when I should have had my stuff together. So finally we got the translator working, and he basically told me through the translator that I cannot film in the train station whatsoever. So I asked him, can I film inside of the actual train once I get on the train? I'll, film the train, the outside of the train, and film like getting in the train and on the train and stuff. And he said, yes, just not the train station. You have to have permission. I don't know who you ask. But I understand, guys, because there were a ton of National Guard members all over that train station, like all over. National Guard, armed National Guard everywhere. I mean, there's cartel in Mexico, and you have to do what you have to do to keep your citizens and travelers and people safe. Didn't bother me. I'm in their country. I get it. I was just really happy to ride the train. But after my interaction with the National Guard member and just embarrassing myself utterly, like every bit of Spanish I learned in college, that I could have a decent conversation, but I was so nervous. Palms started sweating. Everything I learned in college, I forgot. The basics, I forgot. And so I was just really embarrassed. But finally, we communicated. He said, no filming. Got it. So I went up to the ticket agent, showed my ticket. She says, your ticket is good. Just make sure you have your passport along with your ticket to board the train. I asked her if I could film in the train just to make sure, get further clarification. And she said, yes, I could. You can take pictures of the train station, but you cannot film the train station. And I took a few pictures, but by then, guys, my mood was altered a little bit. I was flustered, and I was the only foreigner in that entire train station. There was probably like 10 or 15 of us waiting to get on the train, and I'm the only foreigner. The National Guard, they would smile or say hi, trying to be polite, but I was just like, at that point, I was just trying to like not look like awkward. I was just like, in my head, keep it together. Don't look awkward. Don't stand out. Like, just keep it together. So then that was that. So I this is not your typical train video where I'm showing you guys everything and filming the stores and all of that. I couldn't do it. And so yeah, there's that. So what I'm able to film is what you guys see in this video. Unfortunately, it's not going to be one of those immersive kind of train videos. I'll do my best. I still want to go check out the cafe. I still want to go check out the bathroom. But other than that, there's not much I can film. I'm respecting all of the rules and policies and stuff when it comes to filming. And so yeah, there's that. Gonna enjoy a little bit more of this train ride, and then we'll check out the bathroom and go to the cafe and see what they have for food. I never imagined I'd be in Mexico, finding peace on a train while National Guard members quietly patrol the aisle. It's unexpected and unforgettable. This is why I love riding trains in different countries. Every ride shows a new side of life. This is a wheelchair accessible bathroom. Every train ride I've been on, I have never seen a wheelchair accessible bathroom, let alone a bathroom this massive. So let's take a look at the bathroom and then head to the cafe. It's a big bathroom. I mean, there's tons of space. They even have a handle. Whoa, we're at our next station. Plug outlet. Okay. SOS button if you need help. Not bad. I did go to the cafe. It had 4 employees working in there, a few National Guard members. So there's no way I was pulling out my camera. It's a very tiny, small, like, cafe. It's in the hallway. So yeah, I did buy a sparkling water. There are a couple more things I'll show you guys. I'll show you the regular bathroom, and they do have a bike rack. We can take a look at that, and that's pretty much it for the train. I do see a small difference between premier class and the rest of the train, premier class and second class and all of that. In premier class, there's less seating, which means you get a little more privacy. And they do have like single seats that you can sit at where I'm sitting. Outside of premier class, there are no single seating options. There are a lot more seating, and you feel more claustrophobic bunched together. So if you want a little more space but less seats, premier class or first class would be the way to travel. If you don't care, then second class is fine. You can have a seat to yourself, by yourself, stretched out. But that's the only difference I see. Let's go take a look at the bathroom that's not accessible, not an accessible bathroom, just a regular bathroom, and then I'll show you guys the bike rack, and that's it. So here's the bike rack. There's only one bike rack on this entire train. It's this one. And then here's the bathroom. This bathroom is a lot smaller. I would prefer to use the accessible bathroom. It's just more space. This bathroom smells like a porta potty, whereas the accessible bathroom does not. Maybe because it's more spacious, more ventilation. But here's the bathroom, and then that's it. They do have a hook where you can hang your bag or jacket. Toilet. Trash can. Sink. Another thing to hang your coat rack or jacket or backpack, and then a plug outlet. We're at our 4th stop, Valladolid. I know I butchered that name, but here it is. Valladolid, right there. And I saw a few people waiting to get on the train. I'm noticing at these stops, they only stop for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes max. Maybe people get on, maybe not. But after that, it's on. Not many people riding the train around this time. Maybe they get a lot more people riding during high tourist season, but right now, maybe 2 or 3 people might get on the train at each stop. And they don't stop long enough for you to get out. I don't even think you're able to get out, but they literally only stop for like 2 minutes. Literally. And we are getting ready to leave. They just closed all the doors. That was about a couple minutes. And I'm still the only one in first class. I don't regret getting a first class ticket, even though it was more expensive, because I get this whole place to myself. Just me and my sparkling water. It makes me think, since they don't get a lot of people on this train, how profitable is this train? Is it worth it to build such a massive, expensive project? Is it worth it? I'd be curious to know how profitable the Tren Mayan is. And we're leaving. That was fast. One thing I can say is that the stations and the trains are spotless. They always have people out cleaning. We are currently stopped at another station. I zipped my jacket up, guys. It is cold in this train, and I get it because Mexico right now is very hot and humid, so I appreciate it. I'd rather be cold than hot and humid. There is a feature on this train that I didn't show you guys. I want to show you that right quick while we are stopped. All right. First of all, they do have cameras, and this is what I wanted to show you that I didn't realize. They do have it where they show your location. They have the time, they have the location, and then next stop is Merida. That's where I'm headed. So the next stop I'm getting off. So there we go. That's where we're at right now. Oh, and they do have another bike rack. I thought there was only one bike rack. There's two. One in first class as well. But this is where we're at. All right, I'll see you guys at the next stop. I wasn't going to try anything, but I was like, I can't be on this train and not try their food. They had tamales I wanted to try, but they're sold out. So,
next station is Merida.
Oh, that's my station. That's the next station. So, I thought the station before was the next one. I misread it, but we're coming up on my station next. It's a ham and cheese with sugar. They had a hot dog, but I'm like, no, I always get a hot dog in America. I'm in Mexico. Let's try something that's more local. Let's give it a try. Ham and cheese with sugar on the breading. You see the sugar? That's sugar. Let's try it. This brought back childhood memories. This reminds me of, I don't know if you've ever had this. You toast your bread, you put butter on it, and then cinnamon and sugar. I used to eat that a lot as a kid. And this reminds me of that. This reminds me of cinnamon and sugar with butter toast and ham and cheese. I never put ham and cheese on mine. I just did the cinnamon, sugar, and butter on toast. That's what this reminds me of. Instant flashback to my childhood eating this. sweet, savory. That's the best I can describe it. It's not bad. Something different. Now I can say I tried the food on the train. I am now in Merida, and I will talk to you guys once I figure out where I need to be to catch my train going back to Cancun in 3 hours. So I'll see you guys shortly. Whew, man. Before I end the video, I want to give my thoughts, my honest opinion about my train experience. First and foremost, riding the Tren Maya was an experience like no other. I always welcome a chance to ride a train in a different country, and so Mexico is no different. I was giddy and happy about being able to ride the train, but I didn't expect the heavy National Guard presence at the train station in Cancun, and I didn't expect a National Guard presence on the train. But that's all in the experience and riding a train in a different country. You see their way of life, and it is what it is. And I appreciated that. It was definitely different for me. But other than that, you know, the train ride was very smooth and comfortable, but there's still room for improvement. If you ask me, for example, their first class services needs improving. It could be, you know, it needs to be improved. And I say that because on the website and on the app, when you book it, it lists that with a premier ticket, which is a first class ticket, you get complimentary drinks and snacks. Well, in person, they no longer offer those. And I did verify that by asking one of the staff members, and they said they no longer offer drinks and snacks to people who purchase a premier ticket. They need to fix that and on the website and take that down. Also, too, I did mention that just getting, I don't know if I mentioned at the beginning of this clip, but just getting back to my hotel was a challenge. Getting an Uber, it was a challenge. Hence why I'm in the video the next day, because by the time I got back to my hotel, I was just done. I was spent. But I was talking to my Uber driver, and they told me that, and I just asked them questions about the train, and they told me that, you know, the Tren Maya train is hemorrhaging money. It's not profitable, and it's costing, you know, taxpayers a lot of money. On top of that, they told me that a couple months ago, the Tren Maya train derailed on the exact route that I took. So the train was en route from Cancun to Merida, and part of the train lifted off the tracks and tilted sideways. Thankfully, nobody was injured, nobody was hurt, and the train didn't come completely off the tracks, but it did lift off the tracks. And this is the second time within a year, which is very concerning. I think within a year. I did look it up to verify, but 2 months ago in August of this year, that train did derail. And I think the last time it derailed was in 2024. I don't even think it's been over a year since the last time. And so they do need to get that together. But despite its flaws, I do believe that the Tren Maya has real potential, because it's literally connecting tourists with locals from, you know, tourists from all over the world with locals that live in the different parts of the Yucatan Peninsula. So that's huge potential. That's amazing. I still feel that this project has a real potential. And yes, it's in a very bold project. It's very aggressive, but I do see the vision and I believe in it. I truly enjoyed riding it. And at some point in my lifetime, I will definitely go back to Mexico and get on that train and explore the Yucatan Peninsula via that train. And I'll literally go with just a small backpack, a few changes of clothes, and I'll hit the road and get on that train and just take my time and explore. But right now I'm gonna wait and hold back a little bit and see kind of, you know, what progress looks like for them in the next year or two, and go from there. But all in all, I think it was worth it. For me, I can only speak for me. It was still worth it to be able to experience that train ride, you know. I think they're doing a wonderful job with it. And I was very grateful and honored to be able to ride it. One thing I will tell you is there's a stark difference between the train station in Cancun and the train station in Merida. Cancun had a heavy military presence throughout that whole train station. It was very controlled. The temperament was very, it was just very quiet, very just, it wasn't like, it just was very quiet and people moved in silence. It wasn't loud and it just felt very, I don't know the words. It just felt very controlled. You know, the military was there just ensuring everybody's safety, and it just had a different feel, a different vibe. But when you get to Merida, people are laughing, kids are running and playing. You see dogs and pets, and you see a few National Guard, but you see a few National Guard, and you see more police officers, local police officers there. One thing I can tell you is the train station in Merida is beautiful. It's very bright, bright lights. It had, several places where you can get food, a few like stores where you can buy drinks and snacks and chips and empanadas and burritos. And they had a souvenir shop where you can get souvenirs, plenty of seating. It was just a really beautiful train station, and I did see people filming and taking pictures in there, and the vibe was a little different in the Merida train station as opposed to the Cancun train station, and that makes me think that the Cancun train station must be just the station, and probably in and around that area must be a hot spot to have that many National Guard there with dogs and all of that stuff. And so it's just a different feel. It feels more light and airy and a little more freer, whereas Cancun has got a different vibe. But nonetheless, I still enjoyed the ride. The National Guard, a few of them smiled at me. A few of them said hi. I was definitely the only foreigner there. There was when I was there in the morning, it was between 12 and 15 people, and I was the only foreigner there. And so I just kept telling myself, play it cool, don't stick out. I was probably sticking out, but no one cares. They got other things to worry about than worry about this one foreigner. They don't care. They minding their business, doing their thing. National Guard was very pleasant and stuff. And so I didn't feel the type of way. I just was grateful that they go above and beyond to protect the citizens and the tourists. But with that being said, guys, I think that is all for today's video. I really enjoyed filming this. It was a bit of a challenge. I wish I could have filmed the way I usually do, but I'm glad I didn't, because not every train station is going to be the same and every country is different. And so Mexico's no different. It's just a different feel, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. But I'm out. Thanks for watching. And as always, I will see you guys in my next video. Take care. Oh, and if you're wondering why I'm wearing this, yes, I'm in Mexico. It's hot and it's humid, but inside of my hotel room, it's 62 degrees and I'm freezing, but I know if I turn it up, I'm going to be hot. So I'd rather be cold and comfortable than hot and miserable. Because once I leave my hotel room and walk outside the door, it's instant hot in the hallways. It's so hot. So hot, but it's nice and cool in here. So I'd rather just wear me a light little hoodie than be miserable and hot. Just in case you're wondering, it's so cold in here, but I love it. All right, guys, I'm out for real. Thanks for watching. And as always, I'll see you guys in my next video. Take care. Peace.